So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. Today I don't even know how I'm feeling today. I don't know how my feelings are feeling today. Anger, sadness, frustration, disappointment. I don't even know where to place it. Now it's important that we watch till the end of this video, till the very end, because the legal angle of this topic will be addressed at the end and you really do not want to miss it. Very important for your knowledge. And of course, if you're just seeing me for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, drop all your reactions down in the comment section, and yes, stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. So a few videos back, we discussed the case of Deborah, Debbie, and NOSAKHARE. I'm going to leave the link to that video down in the description box so you can watch it to fully understand where we are coming from. But I'm going to give a brief recap, okay? So Debbie, a youth corper, was driving on the streets of Benin on this fateful day. Benin is a city in Edo State. And somewhere in the course of that driving, there was a vehicle that was reversing towards her. And as she saw the vehicle reversing towards her own vehicle, she began honking, like trying to alert the person that, hey, there's someone behind you. Are you watching at all? But the person kept on reversing until he bumped into her with full speed, such force that her bumper fell off. As any human being would do, of course, she came down to assess the damage on her car and approached the guy who was driving the vehicle by name Mr. Nosa, asking him, what's up? Look at what you've done to my car. How are you going to get this fixed? According to her story, Nosa, the driver of the vehicle that hit her, had another occupant in the car, a lady who witnessed everything that happened and admitted that it was Nosa's fault. So while she was trying to, talk to Nosa, what is going on? Look at what you did. I was honking, you didn't listen. Nosa was asking her, what's your evidence? What proof do you have that I was the one that hit the car? In this mocking, condescending way. Prove it. How am I the one that hit the car? When it was very glaring that he was the one. So even when that lady that was with Nosa tried to reason with Debbie and offered to pay for the repairs, Mr. Nosa threatened that his own friend that if she dared send a dime to Debbie, he was going to finish her. He was going to deal with her ruthlessly. Guys, before we could say jack, Mr. Nosa pounced on Deborah and gave her the beating of her life. Like, as I said in that previous video, any lawyer, any court can view this as attempted murder. This was not just an ordinary assault or beating. He beat her literally blue black. Eyes were shot, bones in the face broken, lips split. She had to get stitches and all of that. As I mentioned earlier, you can catch up on that video for the full details. So I informed us also that a human rights activist took up the case. Let me highlight what that human rights activist did so far so you guys can appreciate what we are confronted with in this video. Since there was an allegation of compromise, the human rights activist took to social media to call out the DPO. The DPO, if you're not Nigerian, is an acronym for Divisional Police Officer. He is the one that heads a particular branch of a police station. And since Debbie had alleged that despite she had submitted evidence of Mr. Nosa's assault on her, the DPO still discharged Nosa and did nothing about it. So since there was already a serious allegation of compromise in that police station, the human rights activists took to social media to name and shame the DPO, calling out the station and putting them on blast, which of course is very important because these police officers know that once the case gets to social media, it can get to the ears of their overall bosses. So it gets many of them on their toes. Secondly, this human rights activists obtained and published the photograph of the alleged assailant, NOSAKHARE, giving him an ultimatum to report himself to the police station. So now the assailant knows that the world knows him. He knows that he cannot just walk down the street without being identified as the monster that he is. That was step number 2. That was a very good step. Thirdly, this human rights activist, in his benevolence, sent his team all the way to meet with Debbie and they interviewed her, put out that official interview online, ensured that the case was transferred from the Ugbo Divisional Police Headquarters to the state's CID, which is like a superior police office, and it was there at the state CID that NOSAKHARE turned himself in. Making progress, right? Now, when Mr. Nosa was interviewed, when he was asked his own side of the story, he said that Debbie was in company of 3 other men and they had attacked him first and he only had to defend himself. But the commissioner of police saw through those pathetic lies. He knew that there was no way that Deborah would be in company of 3 other able-bodied men and Nosa would be able to beat her to stupor while he obtained not even a single scratch. I mean, he went ahead with his wedding a few hours after this incident. There was no way that Debbie would have been with 3 men, 4 people, and he would have the opportunity to beat her like a dog. So of course the commissioner of police knew that he was just talking balderdash. So the COP ordered for his immediate detention and gave an order for the matter to be charged to court. The governor of the state also, in person of His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, also got involved in the case. He reached out to the senior police officers and told them to ensure that justice is served in that incident.
People that know me very well, I'm not a troublemaker, I'm a very peaceful person. That's very true. But I'm happy with the way the case is going. At least justice is being prevailed and everybody's in my side. Because I believe in this life, if your own statement can tie you down, so his own statement has tied him down, and it's glaring that he's lying. So justice is being taken, and God, I still keep saying God is going to bless that commissioner of police. Someone is a father. He's a father that feels the pain of his child. God will bless him. God will bless the governor. And
Amen.
Just thank God. So right now, let me just concentrate on my health and let me try and recover.
Amen. You will. So after 2 nights sleeping in the police cell at the state CID, Mr. NOSAKHARE was transferred to the AIG Zone 5 police office there in Benin. At this point, the Inspector General of Police was involved. The governor, of course, was involved. We were making good progress. Remember that the case had gone from the Ugbo Divisional Police Office to the state CID and now the AIG Zone 5. So it was treated with the severity and the urgency that it very well deserved. On my own part, I made sure that that incident got the publicity that it deserved. I put it up on my YouTube channel, I put it up on Facebook, I put it up on TikTok, I put it up on Instagram. I reached out to both Debbie, the victim, and the human rights activist. I was very interested in following that case to the letter, and many of my followers, my supporters, were reaching out to me in their drones, indicating interest to support this case in any way they can, both financially, anyway. So we were expecting that in no distant time, Mr. NOSAKHARE will be charged to court. I was expecting that we will be able to obtain the charge documents very soon, know what he's being charged with, and follow the case down to judgment. So it was a surprise when we saw that the institution of that criminal proceeding was being delayed. We had the culprits, we had the victim, we had their testimonies, we had everything needed to charge the matter to court. So why the delay? Now this is where it gets interesting. We will soon understand why. Let us read the last and latest statement from this human rights activist that has been following up on Debbie's case from day one. This is what he posted. We want to inform everyone that our team have withdrawn our support on Deborah's case. Our decision was for Mr. Nosa to be charged to court for his crime, and if there is any settlement, let it be at the court and not at the police level. Paying for damages and bail at police level is not our style of advocacy. The reason Mr. Nosa is still in police custody is because of settlement and bail and not our making. Deborah is an adult and knows what's best for her. At this moment, I want to thank you all for joining hands with us on this case. Ongoing, we will be making sure that people who we intervene for put down in writing clear terms which they wish for us to do for them. God bless you all. So in other words, Debbie has withdrawn the case. She's not interested in justice anymore. She's not interested in the matter going to court and following due process. She has opted for money, monetary settlement, financial compensation, after which the man will be released back into society. And here we are once again in the mud. Barrister Neze in the mud. Barrister Neze in the poto, rolling in the deep. And as we try to grasp this new development, we are quickly reminded of a similar case that we reported just a few weeks ago. The case of Barrister Ekere, the lawyer from Akwa Ibom that has over 15 years of practice, that was videoed, caught beating his wife to stupor, bloodied and beaten and battered and bruised on the streets in her underwear. She was with her pants, her dignity exposed for young boys to film her. And he didn't stop. He kept on pursuing her as she was running naked on the streets, and the neighbors were trying to hold him down and trying to call him to order. And he kept on going after his wife, beating and punching her face, and she was blooded. And she was almost half dead. And we carried the case, we covered the case. And I informed you guys that the Nigerian Bar Association had picked up the case, the NBA, and the police had arrested the man. But what I haven't informed you guys, maybe because I haven't found any video to put in that update, but now is a good time. What I haven't updated you guys on yet is that this same lady, Barrister Ekere's wife, has gone to the police station to withdraw the case and say, leave my husband alone. I don't want any charges. I don't want any punishment for him. Leave him. He's my husband. Oh yes, Barrister Ekere's wife did that. And here we are again, back to square one. In the case of Barrister Ekere's wife, some people have made excuses for her. Some say, oh, family pressure. Her family, the man's family, oh, meeting upon meeting, they would have called her. What do you want to do? You want to send your husband to jail? The guilt tripping, the societal pressure. What are you going to tell your children? That you sent their father to prison? Don't do that. The religious pressure. Forgive and forget. God says we cannot judge. Hello, where are the God said we cannot judge people? Let me raise your hands in the comment section. I saw lots of you in the Prophet TB Joshua's videos that we did. God said judgment is for God. Yeah, can I see your hands in the comment section? That is the card that we play that makes society keep decaying and going under. Oh, please leave judgment for God. It's okay. He will change. Forgive him. Don't be the reason why your husband faces punishment. Could it be financial incapacity? Some of these women do not even work. They do not even know where to start from. That man is their alpha and their omega. They cannot fend for themselves. They cannot fend for their children without the man. So when you consider the financial implication of having that man put away, sometimes you see the woman coming back to the police station to drop the case and say, I am not interested in pursuing this case. So for Barrister Ekere's wife, there were so many reasons why his wife chose to withdraw the case and not to pursue it to the letter. But for Deborah, I really do not know so much to say on this. Well, again, it could be family pressure. Deborah mentioned when she was doing that interview that her mother is so quiet. She doesn't like trouble. She's so down to earth. She doesn't want any problem. It could be family pressure. Nosa's family might have come, knelt down, begging day in, day out, coming to Deborah's house, begging, calling on the Lord, calling her pastor, calling her father. It could be family pressure. It could also be the lack of trust in the judicial system, in the whole judicial process. Maybe Deborah would have thought of how this case will stretch for 6, 7, 8 years, and she's busy going to court, having her life at risk, getting drained from the whole matter. It could be a lot of factors. I'm just trying to understand, the reason for this action. This is me trying to make excuses for Deborah, for want of what to say. If you know better, or if you have any brighter reasons why you think Deborah will withdraw from this case after coming online to scream, I want justice, I want justice. She didn't come out to say, I want compensation, or I want financial assistance, or I want monetary restitution. She said she wanted justice, and that's why a lot of people jumped on this case. So if you see other reasons why you believe that Deborah would come off halfway after people have staked their life, their time, their resources to put up a fight to get her justice, and without even informing these helpers, she goes behind them to start bargaining money. with the assailant. Some people consider that a slap in the helper's face. Do let us know what you think about that action down in the comment section. And that brings us to why a lot of people do not like interceding or intervening for many women going through domestic violence. This is not my first experience, neither is it second, third, or fourth. It is like a norm. Even with married women, it's even worse. You know, some of you dropped in the comment section the other time that maybe these women are not financially liberated. You cannot pull a woman out of a domestic violence situation without equipping her, without empowering her. But I beg to differ. Sometimes, even when you set these women up, you give them a business, you give them a handwork, they will take your money and go back to their husband and cook soup for their abusive husbands with your hard-earned sweat. Then you that were trying to help, if you are single, oh my God, you are that bitter single woman who, because you didn't find a husband, because you are not in your husband's house, you want to ruin another person's marriage. If you are divorced, oh my God, that's the worst. You are the worst case. You are the worst person to even advocate for this kind of women, because they will say, oh, because you couldn't keep your home, because you scattered your marriage, you now want to come and scatter another woman's marriage. And even the married women are not spared. They will tell them, oh, you are married, you are inside marriage, then you now want to bring me out from my own marriage. You want to destroy my home. That evil woman who is married though, but want to destroy another person's home. That is the title you get. That's always the case. Just look at this situation with both Deborah and Barrister Ikere's wife. And sometimes you wonder why many of these advocates just want to leave these women in domestic violence situations or even assault situations and just channel their energies and their time to other causes, maybe children or widows or something, and leave these women to help themselves. But in all of this, as a lawyer, I do not even blame these women. The one and only thing I blame is the system. A system that does not understand the distinction between a criminal case and a civil case. A system that does not understand the powers of the plaintiff to withdraw a case and what situation, what kinds of cases those powers can be enforced and the kinds of cases where they cannot be enforced. Now, there are two kinds of cases in every judicial proceeding. All the offenses, all the cases you know of can be divided into two types. We have the civil case and we have the criminal case. Now, a civil case is a dispute between two people, or maybe an individual and a corporation, or maybe two companies. It can even be between more than two people. Some examples of civil cases are maybe a breach of contract, trespass to property, libel and slander, property disputes, land disputes, ownership disputes, divorce and family proceedings, landlord and tenant disagreements. All these are civil cases, and it involves personal injuries that do not necessarily put the society at large at risk. In this case, the plaintiff, which is the person that instituted the action, can choose to withdraw. Civil cases do not involve life-threatening issues. I hope you're understanding me. If you do, please drop in the comment section. Then we have, on the other hand, criminal cases. And the issues that fall under criminal cases are issues like murder, aggravated assault, kidnapping, treason, theft, obtaining by false pretenses. These are criminal issues. And criminal issues are not an offense to an individual per se. They are offenses to the state, to the government. And in criminal cases, the person that was wrong does not have a right to withdraw the case, because for all intents and purposes, that wrong that was meted out to you is not just to you. It is treated as a state offense. And in criminal matters, the person do not have a right to withdraw the case. It is bigger than you. So someone cannot go into a house and shoot somebody and kill that person, and maybe the family members will say, don't worry, we don't want to pursue the case. It is not within their prerogative. It is a crime against the state. And that's why when you see these criminal matters, you don't see Jimo versus Ibrahim, despite it was Jimo that was beaten up. No, you see Ibrahim versus the state, or Latunji versus the state. the offense is an offense against the state. So I really do not understand why I'm hearing in Nigeria that somebody who perpetrated a criminal offense had the case withdrawn by the victim. Who bestowed such rights? Are that the state? Is not supposed to be within their discretion, because these alleged criminals pose a potential threat to other people. If you release a kidnapper back to society and say, oh, the family of the victims have forgiven him, he can go, they said they don't want to pursue the case, you are putting other people at risk. So it's beyond that individual. Civil cases can be withdrawn, but criminal cases should proceed whether the alleged victim wants it or not. Imagine such a very severe and serious case, and I'm hearing that Deborah withdrew the case. Is she the government? You know, some things that you hear and it's just totally unbelievable. It's just totally incredible. Guys, such is the system. Well, I thought to come on here to give you guys this major updates because I brought the news to you. I aroused your interest, so it's my responsibility to tell you how the case is going and how it has ended. Do let me know what you think about this situation. What do you think could be Debbie's reason for refusing the justice that she says she wanted and now opting for financial compensation at the police level? Even if this matter got to court, it can still be instituted as a criminal offense where Mr. Nosa will be made to go to jail, and also as a civil offense they can run concurrently, and under the civil offense Mr. Nosa can still be made to pay damages for the hospital bill and the injuries caused. So if this matter went to court, she still could have gotten monetary compensation, but yeah, she chose to end it at the police level. Do let us know what you think her reasons could be. And going forward, what is your opinion about how these kinds of cases should be handled? Because I feel it's totally unfair for these human rights activists to be staking their life, putting their time, their resources on the line, and at the end of the day, these victims, these women, these wives go behind them and make restitution without them even knowing what is going on at the back scenes. To let us know whether you have any idea, any concepts in which such interventions can be structured to ensure that the case is pursued to the stage of justice. Let us know what you think about this case, the case of Barrister Ikere's wife, and the whole situation surrounding this issue. Drop your thoughts down in the comment section. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. I believe you learned a thing or two, especially as to the distinction between a civil and the criminal case. So now you know. If you're new here or if you just see me for the first time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, drop all your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. Don't also forget that I have a beautiful personal cozy channel, Nezeville, where I detail my personal life and all the sweet stuff in between. Go there, subscribe, join the fam over there, and I'll be glad to see you there. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.